friends, for today's experiment, let's find out how well foil travels in this suitcase. So this is a foil that I was just working on in Ottawa, and I printed it on a litho press there. And then without switching back to black ink or even really rolling ink after the last printing, I gummed it down and packed it in my suitcase. So let's see how it prints today. Take this off. Okay. First, I'm trying to remove as much of the ink as I can with vegetable oil. Some inks dry really quickly, others don't, and it looks like this one did not. So that is a good sign that I will be able to remove all of the previous printing ink. Now, one note is that this foil has a large area of solid color. That is tricky to do on any kind of foil, fresh or old. It's really preferable to do a large flat on a stone or a plate. Oh, I gotta make space. I don't have quite enough space here. I don't want to push my bowl of water off the edge of the table while I'm rolling. Okay. I'm also using a slightly transparent ink at the moment, which can also be tricky with flats. Now it looks like it's rolling up just fine. I do think I'm going to have some sort of unwanted ink texture in the background, and that is because of that transparent base I am using. Ooh, something under there. That's not good. I was feeling a little resistance, so I had to kind of back off the pressure so that I don't rip through the entire thing. I think there might be either something in the paper or a little spot in the ink that is causing that resistance. So here we go. As expected, you do get a little bit of a texture in the background from that transparent ink. But it's not bad. Foil was a little dry there. Let's do some fast passes to pick it up. Now, I really actually do want to roll both ways, but my foil is small, so I'm going to end up rolling ink right onto the plexi. I don't want to print yet because I can see a little bit of a roller mark in there. We do not want any kind of a roller mark in our flat. I think with this ink, that might be as good as it gets. Unless I switch to an opaque ink or a color ink.
I'm going to test printing it over another layer, also printed last week.
Should I be printing on such a thick paper by hand?
It's very possible that the thickness and texture of the paper will cause some problems.
But I do want to try. See if we're getting anywhere with this. We are. It's just, whew. Oh my goodness, I got this wet. Today's experiments are causing some problems. Let's see what happened. And it printed. Not perfect, but it printed. So what I wanted to see was how these two foils would work in a different color combination. When I was printing them in Ottawa, I was using blue and red, and it was very strange. Not quite what I had hoped for, and I don't know that this is what I'm going for either, but it is much better for a two-color print with the transparent gray and the black. But I would have to think about it. And if I plan to print by hand, I will switch to a thinner, smoother paper than the BFK to make sure that the flat is printing really rich and solid. And I will try reprinting, maybe with slightly different color combo than I did here, but it is giving me some ideas. So as much as this test gave me a lot of troubles, I say it's successful. Now I gotta clean this plexiglass, clean up, and move on to my next experiment.
Thanks for watching today's chaotic printing session, and see you next time.